So guys, I finally set up my Apple Watch and I wanted to show you the Apple Watch application first of all, and then I'll show you the comparison between the Apple Watch 3 and the Apple Watch 4. So right now I've set up my Apple Watch 4, which is a 44mm Apple Watch, and you guys can see that there are these faces. I just thought it would be convenient to show you on my iPhone than on the Apple Watch, which I would later on. But going through the app is quite intuitive, and I would always recommend that you use your app while you're setting up your Apple Watch. Now, the first section in your Apple Watch tells you the size of the Apple Watch, which is 44mm. Second is faces. All these faces are right now on my watch. So the section over here is for my watch, and it's showing all the different features on my watch. One of the main dials which I really like is the infograph. So the infograph is one of the newest Apple's edition for the Apple Watch 44mm, which is just exclusive in iOS 5 for this new watch. And then we have the infograph modular, which gives you a lot of information like stock and UV index and world clock and so on. Then you have fire and water, breathe, liquid, metal and vapor. I'm a big fan of the infograph, which is quite colorful. Lots of people out there really don't admire it because it's just too colorful, but it's personal preference. And obviously going down, you have the same sort of layout on your iPhone. One of the changes which they've done is walkie-talkie, and in walkie-talkie you have to use it from your phone. Rest is you have your face gallery, which shows you new in watchOS. It'll show up over here, and you can see you've got infograph and infograph modular, kaleidoscope, breathe, fire and water, liquid, metal and vapor. And rest are the standard watch faces which we previously had. Now guys, let's head into the Apple Watch itself and see the difference of the make, the color, the quality and the size of it. So guys, on my right side I have the Apple Watch 3, on the left side I have the Apple Watch 4. By appearance it doesn't look much different, so they both look the same. That's the first impression. The material on the band, the color, it seems to be that it's slightly a bit shiny, and the new one it's a bit matte, but that just could be the reason that I've used it. And second, if you look at the interface, it is pretty much same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the brightness to maximum. So now guys, both of the watches are set to maximum brightness, and you can see that the Apple Watch 4 is just, it's got the same amount of information. The only thing in Apple Watch 3 and 4 is that the icons on Apple Watch 3 are slightly squeezed, whereas on the Apple Watch 4 they are slightly larger. So there is not much difference in terms of the applications and the look of it, because all it's doing is that they have increased the size of the icons to just fill it to the screen size of the Apple Watch 4. Now let's compare the sides and the body of the Apple Watch. So guys, the first thing I notice is that there is a hole over here on the top of this button, and the button on the Apple Watch Series 4 is flush, whereas on the Apple Watch Series 3 it's a bit protruded. Then we go on to the crown. The crown seems to be that there is a black dot on the top of the crown, whereas the Apple Watch Series 3, the aluminum case, is very plain. And obviously it doesn't give you any haptic feedback when you scroll through the different menus. Now the Apple Watch 4 is said to be slimmer, and the Apple Watch 3 is slightly thicker, but overall it's more thicker than the Apple Watch Series 3. Now on this side, if you notice that on the Apple Watch Series 3 you have these two sort of holes over here, whereas the Apple Watch 4 all you have is, I think so, that those are the speakers, and with the Apple Watch Series 3 you have the speaker holes over here, whereas yes, as I showed you on the Apple Watch 4 you've got the speakers on inline on the side. The rear is very interesting. If you carefully look at the rear, one of the things which you'll notice is that on the Apple Watch Series 4 it seems to be that the whole area is made out of a very different material. It's shiny, it might be stainless steel, it might be another material, but on the Apple Watch Series 3 you have it all aluminum, and in the center you have the probes for the heart rate sensors. They are slightly different as compared to the Apple Watch 4, because Apple is saying that they're going to incorporate the ECG or the echocardiogram feature in a few months, and obviously you need this sort of a back to support that feature. Both of the watches in front, and in terms of features, you will definitely not find any difference. The thing is that should you upgrade or should you buy another Apple Watch if you are already using the Series 3? I would say to you guys that it's not really worthwhile, because the thing is that the Apple Watch Series 3, if you're using it, it's pretty much the same. I feel that it's not even faster. So let's go ahead and let's check it out if it's really fast or not. So I'm just going to do a quick test on both of the watches. So guys, both watches menu, they just, you know, go back to the home screen in the same sort of speed. You won't really notice any difference. Then we open up clock here, and here it's pretty much the same speed. Home screen, again, let's open up news, say for example, news here and news here. Fine. So it, you know, so the speed is so little that you really won't feel any difference. So it's not a drastic change that you would feel in getting an Apple Watch 4. It might be faster in some areas like starting up and so on. Apart from that, yes, obviously the watch face is one thing. In Apple Watch 3, you have the modular face, which is quite simple, whereas in Apple Watch 4, you have the modular face, which is for Apple Watch 4, and it looks really smart. So if you guys are planning to get the Apple Watch just for the modular face, then go for it. If you are planning for functionality, believe me, it's just the same thing. So guys, this was my quick review for the Apple Watch Series 3 and for the 4. And to let you guys know that if you are planning to get an Apple Watch and you are dead on, you want to buy it, then go for it. It's your decision. I got it, I'm gonna use it, I wanted it. The only difference what I feel is that it's slightly larger, it's quite pleasant on the eyes, and that's it.
So the Apple Watch Series 4 and 3 pretty much look the same. They come in GPS and cellular. The Apple Watch 4 starting price is $499, with the Apple Watch 3 series is $379. The case size is 44mm and 42mm respectively. The 44mm has a 977 square millimeter display area, whereas the 42mm has a 740 square millimeter area. Thickness of the Apple Watch 4 is 10.7 millimeters thin, and the Apple Watch 3 is 11.4 millimeters thin. Both of them come in a different processor. The Apple Watch 4 sports a S4 64-bit dual-core S4 processor, which is 2 times faster than the S3. It's got an electrical heart sensor, and the Apple Watch 4 sports a second-generation optical heart sensor, whereas the Apple Watch 3 has a regular heart sensor. The Apple Watch 4 also has a fall detection and a digital crown with haptic feedback, whereas the Apple Watch 3 comes in a regular digital crown. The Apple Watch 4 comes in a new color, which is the gold version, and the Apple Watch 3 comes in silver and space gray. The Apple Watch 4 and the Apple Watch 3 compare pretty much the same in terms of their internal specs, such as GPS, GLONASS, the barometer, the water resistance, the optical heart sensor, and the ambient light sensor. But in terms of the electrical heart sensor and the gyroscope, there have been a lot of improvements, and there has been an improvement in the accelerometer as well. So guys, this was my quick comparison. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in my next video.